Hello. Yeah, thank you, brothers and sisters and friends, for coming today. I want you to take a moment to look around at each other. You are a beautiful sea of humanity in what at this time feels like a raging storm. And you all fill my soul with hope. Karen, Siobhan and I really thought it was important during these heavy times, these dark days, when we are witnessing several genocides taking place, wars and threats of more wars, that we respond with a prayer for peace and an envisioning of the world we wish to see and to bring in. We chose today because it is a super new moon. And a symbolism of the new moon is not just about setting intentions, but a reminder that in this darkest night, the light will always return. When we think of peace, however, we whose families and loved ones are not on the front line of violence, of colonialism and imperialism, we must truly understand that peace is not something light and fluffy, a singing of kumbaya, although definitely it ought to contain the message of unity. Nor is it merely the wish that our comfort is not disturbed, which too often is the case, and why so many close their eyes to the suffering of others, failing to recognize that this refusal to acknowledge what is happening will only ensure that it lands on our own doorsteps. To truly be committed to the prayer for peace in our world, we must be brave enough first to understand why we don't have it, to name the obstacles, which include racism, colonialism, imperialism, capitalism and patriarchy. Because true peace cannot exist without justice, and justice cannot come without addressing the injustice, as uncomfortable, scary and even painful that might be at times. So as the head of the British military tells us that we must prepare for war, a war, let's face it, which will not be fought by them or by their children, but rather by our sons and daughters. Let us be sacred rebels and instead reject their war machine, which trades in blood and chaos and profits from broken bodies, minds and communities. And instead, through every action we take, through our consumer choices, through the words we use, the bridges we build to each other, the communities we create, make a conscious decision that recognizes our shared humanity, all of us, and that what we allow to be done to other, we end up allowing to be done to ourselves. Let's choose instead to prepare for peace and a world within which all of our children and life itself can thrive. Let us be brave enough, as John Lennon's song encouraged us to do, to imagine that it is possible and to love ourselves and each other enough to ensure that it comes to pass. So today we wanted to allow some space before we move to envisioning, so our meditation, for representatives from some of those impacted communities to share with you what their prayers for peace include. And so I'd